Pixels and yaps, pixels and yaps. We like pixels and computer games. Pixels and yaps, pixels and yaps. We're yapping about pixels and computer games. Pixels and yaps.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to episode 14 of the Pixel Yaps podcast, featuring myself, Cesire, and my co-host here,
Loonaromi. Hi. Oh, God.
Luna, is just a little bit sick. Just
I'm recovering from a flash cold flu. I don't know what happened. It snuck up on me like crazy. And for the past since Sunday, I've basically had no voice. This is a good day. This is a great day. I know it doesn't sound like it, but this is a great day. I can actually talk.
yeah. So we're gonna power through because Luna said the show must go on, and
Yes.
we will see what we see. We'll try to keep Luna's talking a little bit less today. Maybe. I don't know. She loves to yap, y'all. I don't know if you've noticed. She loves
I've
it.
been I've been I've not yapped for like a week. I'm on yap withdrawal.
Yeah, she's got a yap
Rough out here.
deficiency. Which
Yeah, I
actually
have so much
brings
rough out
me
here.
to something I noticed.
Uh-oh.
Because we always start with, the games we played this week. I saw that you played a little bit of Infinity Nikki.
Oh my god, I quit so fast. Um
What do you
oh,
mean so
I
fast? You
have
played for an hour.
I have such a love-hate relationship with that game. Like I loved it at the beginning, right? And I wanted to continue loving it, but they keep on updating the game in a way where they're adding more and more and more payment models. Like things that you have to, like right now you don't just have the outfits anymore. You also have the colors, which sure you can get the currency for in game, but it's so much easier if you just go buy it, you know? And then there's housing, which is also behind a paywall thing. And there's just so many things that are gotcha now. It's not just the outfit gotcha anymore. There's so many other things as well that are also gotcha. And I'm like, it's too much. Like, yeah, to a reasonable extent, you can say, yeah, this is free to play friendly, but only if you're really, really, really okay not caring about basically half of the game.
Like
That's what it
me.
feels like.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't, I don't use any of the paid stuff. So, but I mean,
So
I get to do
that's what
all
it
the
feels like
story.
to me. So like I
They gave us a house too.
two houses, yeah. I don't know. I feel very disenchanted with it. I really want to give it another try. I really want to do it. I think I have to one day just do it off of stream. Um
I
because
feel
I was
like,
just so bitter during it the whole entire time. Like
yeah,
you
I
get
feel
that.
like you might worry too much about what you can't buy for you to enjoy it. Cause like I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just like if I can't get it, I'm like okay, whatever. But
Yeah, I
I
suffer
don't.
from FOMO.
Yeah, you don't really game that way, so it might not be a good game for you. Like it works for me. The free
No.
model works for me. But I could
Yeah.
definitely like because I'll see those tabs and I'm just like I don't know what any of this is. Just close all of them because I'm just like I don't know what all these currencies are. I don't need them. Just get what I can get in game.
They did a few things which I don't like. I didn't like that they retconned um the beginning essentially. Um like the way that Nikki ends up in the world initially is the way she ends up in that world now. They changed the lore on that. So I didn't like that very much. But like I was trying to get over it and I thought, you know what? The easiest way for me to get back into the game is by simply restarting. But they make it so difficult for you to restart.
Yeah, that's not
If you're
surprising.
if you play on Steam, one, you can't just switch like on Genshin, for example. You can switch from NA to EU and they're completely separate like save games, right? You can just switch servers and they're completely separate save games. So I was going to do that on Infinity Nikki, but you can't switch servers on Infinity Nikki. Whichever server you choose at the beginning is the server you're stuck on. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
I think it's because it wasn't originally
whatever.
multiplayer.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, whatever. Let me just make a new account and let me make like a second account. I don't care. It won't let me log out
Oh,
because
really?
I played Steam. It won't let me log out.
Well,
And
I guess
so
that
I
makes
didn't
sense. You'd have to do it
install.
through the launcher.
Yeah, and I didn't want to install like a whole second version of Nikki's. I was like, okay, fine, I guess I'll try and figure it out. But I didn't know where I left off. I left off in the middle of like bumfuck nowhere. I don't know where I am at. I don't know what I did. I don't know where I've been. You know? So it just made it really hard to feel drawn to it because of how lost I felt. Added to that, I logged in and the game was just like, buy me, no, buy me, wait, no, buy me. Look, I have a sale, buy me first. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Let's
whoa.
be real anyway, Luna. You don't have time for Infinity Nikki, even if you had the money
I
to spend on all
don't.
that
I
stuff.
don't. I
You
really
just don't.
don't.
You don't have time for a long running game like that.
No.
Not unless
I
it's
the
something you
gacha that
absolutely
I
love.
Yeah, the gacha that I really wanna get back into at the moment is Genshin, because I do love the Genshin lore, and I think Genshin is coming up to its, like, peak of the story, and I really, really wanna experience that. So, that's the game I'm trying to get
I
back
feel like you
into,
say this
which
every 6 months. Like,
What about Genshin?
yeah. You're always like, I
Oh,
want to get
they've
back into Genshin, and then you play for a couple days, and then like 6 months later, you're like, I really want to get back into Genshin.
they lost me at Sumeru. I loved the exploration in Sumeru. The story was meh. Um, and then Fontaine I was really excited for. Um, but it's so theatrical and it's just like there's so many cutscenes for so many like small things that shouldn't have a cutscene. Give me 1 second.
She's also been playing Guild Wars 2 some more, so yeah, Luna's been busy moving and then being sick. So
Yeah. Sorry, I
yeah,
just had to cough.
you're good. I covered it.
Um, yeah, so It's I'm really trying. I'm struggling getting through Fontaine. I feel like once I've gotten no, that's a lie because after Fontaine comes an area that I absolutely hate. So basically, I need to get
uh,
through an area that I like the world in, like the scenery in, don't like the story. And afterwards, I need to get through an area where I'm not gonna like the story nor the world. And then I get to the bit that I really, really want to do. So
and you can't just like skip the bit you don't want to do. They don't let you do that.
No, not really. Not really. You have to actually do the stuff.
I see.
So yeah, I have to just do it,
Maybe you'll like
And I
the
will at
area.
some point.
Maybe you'll be
Ah,
surprised.
I doubt it. Um, it's a desert-like area. We know how I feel
Oh.
about desert-like areas. So yeah. But yeah, no, apart from that, I've been playing, like you said, Guild Wars 2, which is it's going forward slowly but surely. I'm halfway through season 1 now. No, season 2.
Season 2.
Season 1? Season
Season
2,
2.
that's right, season 2. I'm halfway through season 2 now, so that's exciting. And I've started World of Warcraft again.
Uh, so, listeners, I have to give you a little context in this. It was like a week ago, maybe not even a week ago, that Luna asks in her Discord, "Hey, is anybody else getting tempted by the new WoW stuff?" And a bunch of us were like, "No," and she's like, "Well,
No.
I am," and here she is.
I haven't gotten the new expansion. I haven't gotten the new stuff.
Fair,
It's just too expensive for me at the moment, and the thing is, hubby, is, like, an OG WoW player, so,
right?
like, he's really excited for me to get into the game,
Is he gonna
and
play
if
with
I
you?
got myself yeah, and if I got myself the expansion, I feel like I would need to get him the expansion. So, it is, like, a minimum $100 that I have to dish out for it, plus the sub, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm no." I ain't got that kind of cash right now.
I feel like you don't want to spend that kind of money until you know you're actually gonna play. So like you should just play with what you've got
I
and then,
mean,
you know.
I know I would play because the new expansion in WoW includes housing,
Yeah, yeah.
and everything I've seen from WoW housing looks absolutely phenomenal. And like, I feel like in MMOs, it's always such a hit or miss whether they do housing right or not. Like, I've done housing in Star Wars: The Old Republic, didn't like it so much there. It's okay, but like, it's like, ugh. Final Fantasy, you can do Final Fantasy 14. You can do a lot of really cool stuff with Final Fantasy 14 housing, but it's like you need to be really smart about it. And so it's also kind of like it's really tedious. It's really tedious is what Final Fantasy 14 housing is. Um and then ESO obviously is got some really really cool housing stuff. They let you do almost anything. Is limited, very limited with furniture slots. And Guild Wars 2, I haven't done Guild Wars 2 housing, but I haven't heard very many good stuff about it.
It's got a
Every
lot of the
every
freedom of ESOs, with the same like a bit of a weird limitation on items that they're still working on.
yeah,
And it's just new, so
every housing person that I've known that has tried Guild Wars 2 housing has more or less said the same thing. They all said it's okay, but they expected more.
the system is really great, but I think the real problem is that there's a lot of crafting materials required to
Right.
to actually make the furnishings you want, and I think that was a hurdle a lot of people never got over. Like the
Yeah.
system itself is
Um,
really good. Like probably, you know, you have the same kind of flexibility you have with ESO, but getting the
um,
furnishing is harder.
yeah, and moreover, going back to Final Fantasy 14 housing, like someone in chat just said, Delicia, um, housing is stupid because if you don't log in for, I think it's around 2 or 3 months, your house vanishes and all the furniture goes into storage. No refund on the guild, but just their in-game money that
Hmm.
you spent on the plot, everything. So you have to kind of like keep on paying the sub and keep on logging in. However, I do think I need to double check, but I do think they're actually updating that system so that you don't lose your house anymore. So there is that. And if you're in a I highly recommend being in a guild with other people, in a free company with other people, because then if it's like a free company house, which is what we did, like we have a very small free company, which is the equivalent of a guild. The house just bounces between us basically. So like one of us always has ends up always having a sub, so it works out. And it just bounces to whoever is still active, and then we get an email about having to log in if it's that time before it gets demolished. But it does suck. In that terms, Final Fantasy 14 housing does really suck. Um, but yeah, I've seen so many cool things about WoW housing, and I really, really, really want to test it out. So I know that I would be playing it if I got that expansion.
Well, all right, there you go.
Sorry, that was a lot.
Luna's like, I
I
don't know
like
if I can
housing.
talk much, and then talks all of the much.
I had to cough several times during that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anything else you've been up to recently, or just I know you've been busy, so I wasn't expecting to have so
Um,
much to talk about already.
no, that's honestly pretty much it. I hopped into WoW for the first time, I think it was Sunday night, because I couldn't talk, so I was like, let's play an MMO where we can chat. So we did some of that, continued some of that story. And that's about all I've done because honestly, I haven't been at the PC much. Like
No.
when I was like really sick, when I was in the middle of it, I was not at the PC. I was just dying on the couch.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
I was congested like crazy. I had headaches. I had a fever. I never get fevers. I had a fever. So yeah, I was just on the couch, watching what's it called? New Game. New Game. Yeah, it's an anime. It's really cute actually. It's a wholesome like slice of life anime about this girl that goes into character design working for a game development company. And it's just very cute and wholesome, and they do talk about gaming stuffs, and I find it a nice watch. As a gamer and an anime nerd, it's a really cool watch.
Nice. Well, we've been up to mostly I've been taking the time cuz like things are a little bit quieter at the moment in terms of like games that I've said that I'd showcase. So we've been just taking the time to finish a lot of games that we've already started before, games that we've talked about. However, I
Mhm.
did get to check out the 1.0 release of a game called Flotsam. And it
Oh,
was
I got an email
delightful.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was so much fun. You basically you like build this floating city off of your ship, and so it just looks so dumb. Like my city looks so dumb. But it's so charming because they've got these clever ways because you're building your city out of recycled materials. Like you're picking up garbage out of the ocean, and that's what you're building with is the garbage and like wood that you find. And sometimes you can cut some wood down, but like the premise is that the world has flooded, and so the only way you guys really know how to survive is to build your floating town. And so you go around
That's
collecting
kind of cute.
stuff and collecting different drifters is what they call the people. And one of the really charming things with it is that the drifters came with like these little blurbs about them, like what they did before the flood, and what they've been doing after. And they just have these just ridiculous descriptions, like one person was just like, "Oh yeah, I just like am really super into recycling," and another person was like, oh gosh, I can't remember what some of the backstories were, but they were just so silly. And I don't know, it added that extra flair that sometimes these city builders can miss out on because they're such a bigger scale sometimes,
Mhm.
to where like the people in them don't really have personality. But these ones do. And so it was fun for me because we would try and rename them to somebody in the community who we thought the personality would work for. Like somebody was a doomsday prepper. And so we made them the scavenger because that's what they like to
Yeah, yeah.
do. And so we had like,
Obviously.
Fabrouse Fishington. And we're just giving them like just really stupid names. It was, I liked it a lot.
Okay.
We're gonna definitely play some more. And the other fun thing was you had your different workshops. Like there was one for cooking, right? For making salads out of seaweed. And it's like a
Yeah.
giant colander, almost like they took it out of a really large washing machine or something.
Hmm.
And they just crank it and spin it around to make their salads. It's just all the different workshops have these kind of like little unique touches. Um, and you drive your city around. Like that's how you go find more materials is you take the entire city.
Just take it with you and
Yeah.
drive for it. That's kind of cool.
It was really charming. And this is a game. It was in early access for like a good chunk of years, maybe like 5 years or
Mhm.
something. I can't remember how many. Don't quote me on it. But a good chunk of years. And it shows because when I got to play it for the first time, it's a very well-rounded game. Like
Okay.
we only ran into a couple quirky little mostly graphical glitches.
Mhm.
And I don't know, everything just felt really clearly laid out and explained really well. And I think it was because of early access that they were able to make a very complete game.
Okay. It
But
looks
yeah,
really cute. I really
that's
like the art style.
Flotsam. Yeah, and it's a very relaxed city builder. Um, your people can die, uh,
D-
if they starve, but
I was
mine
just
didn't
gonna say,
get
can they
that
fall into
far.
the ocean?
No, and so far I haven't found a shark or anything that will eat me. There's a whale that hangs
Okay.
out, but he seems friendly. I don't know if there's anything that will eat them
Who
yet.
seems friendly?
Well, I mean, he hasn't eaten any of them, so that's kind of all
Fair,
you can
fair.
ask for when you live on the ocean. Well, and it's cute too because they like when you build storages, they're literally just these floating boxes and they just pile this stuff in there. So you just have these
Mhm.
piles of objects. It's I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just very well made. I did get a key for it, mind you. Um Disclaimer.
Yay.
But
Hashtag gifted.
yeah, it's one that I definitely would have checked out earlier probably had I known about it, but I didn't. Um
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's really the only new one. Most of my talking today will be about Endix.
I'm really curious about that because I had no spoons.
Yeah, you had no
Between
time.
getting sick and moving, I was like, I knew it was happening, and I was sitting here, and I was like, I can't right now. Like, the thing is, like, I wouldn't have been able to focus on anything. You know what I mean? So I was like, I cannot. And yeah, I'm counting on you to tell me all about Endix because I was very curious about it.
Yeah, are you ready to hear about it now?
Yeah, go for it.
All
Tell me.
right. It was awesome. Obviously, it's new in the sense that this was like the third time they've held it and the first one was last year. So, like it is
Hmm.
new. It's a fledgling project. Um,
Oh, I do want to talk about one thing about Endix. First of all,
yeah,
can we talk about for a moment how amazing their character creation was?
yeah, yeah,
Like, for something, that character creation is the main focus. I really like it was very simple, very quick, but still in depth enough to I don't know, I guess be able to make yourself in the game and go to the virtual convention as yourself if you'd want to.
yeah. Luna got pretty freaking close. I struggled.
Right?
I couldn't quite get there, but she was good enough. Also, we were laughing. We were laughing the whole time because all of the models have gamer posture. And so it was
Oh,
funny to
yeah?
watch them just like standing around because they'll just like be slouching. But honestly, I did not expect that level of character creation for the event. I didn't know what to expect at all.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's important and good that they did focus on that. Because it is really cool to see everybody looking like slightly different and a
Mhm.
little bit more unique instead of having like set avatars or something. And you can put as
Mhm.
little or as much work into it as you want. And the nice thing is that it feels like a system that can grow with the expo. So like the fact that
Mhm.
it's so good now is a good sign for where it could be in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I'm not kidding when I say Luna got kind of scary close to what she looks like. There was like a bit of uncanny valley, but when I saw it, I was just like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, I
And
saw them it took me, like, 5 minutes as well, it didn't take me long to do that either.
yeah, it was crazy. She'll have to share a screenshot with you guys in Discord if she feels like it. Um, but it was really cool. So, you know, for folks that are watching rather than just listening, you can kind of see they built there's a whole city. I mean, it's a small slice of a city, obviously. You've got like the train station. You've got mostly buildings you can't go into yet, but you've got the idea of a city. And they had cute
I
little
really like that.
NPCs around that you could talk to, and they just all said ridiculous stuff. A lot of it would like break the fourth wall or just make jokes about being an NPC. There was some standing next to some stairs that you couldn't go up. You could go down them, but you couldn't go up them. And the NPC was like, "Don't try to go up the stairs. You won't be able to." And if you go to the other guy, he'd be like, "Go play, like go to the expo instead of playing on these stairs." I just thought it was so funny. Um and it I think the really cool thing about it was like, you know, we've mentioned when we talked about it before I actually went how nice it is for players, people all over the world really, to be able to come together in a way that
Mhm.
they never would be able to in real life. Like we'd never be able to get all of our friends, um
Mhm.
to a convention together. Like it would be really hard to get you and
No.
me at the same convention because,
Oh,
why would I
absolutely,
go to
yeah.
TwitchCon Europe when I live in NA?
Yeah.
um so I've thought for many years actually, especially with VR becoming more popular as as the years go on. I've thought for a long time that this was kind of the future of conventions because doing in-person events is so expensive in just
It
so many
really
different
is.
ways. Yeah, like for the people who put it on as well. Like, you got to buy the venue, you got to get everybody there, you got to help them set it up, and it's just so much overhead. Like you can understand how TwitchCon got so expensive, because they kept getting bigger and bigger and doing things that maybe they
Yeah.
didn't need to do. Um
Yeah.
so this was really cool because they had a couple of outdoor ones, but most of the stuff was inside. But the outdoor booths were kind of like what you would expect to see at an expo, where it's just like they got little characters hanging around, but on a bigger scale that would be so much harder to complete in real life. Uh, and actually, I went on two tours. I went on both days. And so the second day, he's like, he recognized that a lot of us were the same names, and so he kind of just talked about slightly different things. And so they told us that the Endix team actually ended up having to build a number of these booths just because the devs couldn't, they're too busy with their own stuff. And so basically, the devs just gave them models and assets to use, and then they were able to kind of plug it into these templates that they're building. Uh,
Oh, that's
to make
cool.
it faster. So this year it wasn't quite so fast. They were like, yeah, we had to do a lot of dev hours. But hopefully they've set themselves up where the next one, they can do it a lot faster. A little bit more of a, drag and drop, so to speak. But I think where it really shined was inside the building, because when you stepped through a door into a game's booth, you really could sometimes feel like you were stepping into another realm because you would be stepping into a version of the game's realm, using their assets and stuff. And so it just kind of created this effect where like you walked into the booth and you were just like, wow, there's so much to see. There's, like I'm in this pixel Greenland, or I'm in this horrible scary alien place. Like it was just so cool and immersive in a way that you just I don't you
Man, I'm
couldn't
so
do
bummed I
this.
missed it. Oh my
Well, I
goodness.
wouldn't panic because like I said, they did two last year or this year.
Yeah, I'm
So
praying that they're gonna do another one soon.
yeah, make sure you're on like the list, or like you got the emails or whatever. You can also
Yeah.
still join the Discord and just hang out
I'll
in
have
there.
to, I think. I don't know if I did. I don't think I
Yeah,
did.
like March or something would be when the next one would be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was really enamored with it. I really was. I think obviously since it is still kind of a baby,
Mhm.
obviously there's still a lot of stuff that they want to do. And obviously I think the world will get more interactable as time goes on. Um, which will keep you in there a little bit longer. Because I
Mhm.
think the one downside, and I understand why they did it, because it was way easier to do it this way. Also, because the devs want traffic to their Steam pages. Like you couldn't play you couldn't play the demos in the expo themselves.
Right.
Like I could with a different one that I went to. But I understand it because that would have you would have had to download all of them, and it would have been a nightmare. And again,
Mhm.
this, the point of, or the selling point for the expo was like, we're going to help you get wish lists. And so they needed people to go to the Steam pages and actually wish list and interact with them. So,
Right.
but the reason I said that's a downside is because it did, I would leave the expo, so to speak, to go play demos. Um,
Right.
but I
Okay.
think over time, as they get better at it and as they kind of start coming up with like activities and stuff, it'll be a bit more well-rounded to where you want to spend a lot of time in there and just wandering around. I talked to some other creators, the ones that were way less shy than me, which was really cool. Like I talked to someone from, I think they were from like Portugal, and
Oh, cool.
another person, I don't remember where they were from. They were just like going around talking to everybody, and that was pretty cool. And they did have some nice features in that, like you could party up with your friends, and then you could have a separate push to talk for them, so you could talk within your group without interrupting people around you, which was really, really
Oh,
nice.
I love that.
Yeah, it was very nice. And then obviously you could mute individual people if there were problem people and whatnot, and it was all
Okay.
local, so even the global chat was like, it was only proximity, so you needed to be somewhat close to people to really be annoyed by them or whatever. But yeah, it was really cool. I even I got to talk to one of the devs when they were standing outside of their booth, so I just kind of asked them some questions about their game, which was fun. I'll probably clip that later. I still need to make my video from it. I've been so busy. Not as busy as you.
It sounds like it
A
was
different busy.
it sounds like a really cool event, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm excited to get there while it's still baby, because
Yeah.
you can kind of help it grow, and
Yeah.
it's something that I definitely want to support.
Well, you said this is their third one. This is the
Yeah.
first time I've heard of them, though.
Yeah, because they started like last year or something. But it's hard to get some of the word out for some of these things. I think this year they spent more on marketing.
Right.
And then obviously they've been getting more and more creators in to help get the word out, which is smart in my opinion.
Absolutely.
But I think it has the potential to grow into something just really, really cool, and I'm excited to follow. I'll probably gonna, whenever they invite me, we're in.
Yeah.
I was just so charmed by it, and the people running it, at least the one that I talked to in Discord a bunch, they're just absolute sweetheart, just doing their best. So yeah, it was cool. And obviously they learned some things from this one to apply to the next one. Like this time they had a jumping puzzle, and one of the event organizers was like, I don't know.
Oh, God.
They're like, I don't know if this was a good idea, because there were some people who spent like the whole time there. It's just like, well, I guess in a way it might be a good thing. Because they also had a leaderboard, so if you got the best time by the end, you could win a Steam card. So it was very competitive.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, it does not surprise me that a lot of people spent a lot of their time there.
Yeah, they had a maze as well, which was really fun. So I think as they get more activities like that in, that'll help keep things interesting.
I see the gamer posture now.
Yeah, the gamer posture. They just kind of hulk it. It's hilarious. We were laughing the whole time. And they added some emotes this time. Those were newer, I think. So they were pretty excited about that. Like you can dance, you can do a little break dance and stuff. But yeah, it was really cool to be a part of, and it was cool to be a part of the creator side of it. Just because it was just nice to see the people who were doing it and how passionate they were. Yeah, this is one of my new favorite things. I really highly recommend that if you get the chance. And by the way, people who are listening, when it was happening, anybody could come for the weekend. So even if you're not a creator, like you can still come to this thing and enjoy, hanging out with creators and other gamers and stuff. And
yeah, I think the only difference is that creators get to like go a day early or something.
Yeah, we got like a day early access and like a little creator tag and stuff. And actually they just recently emailed those of us who participated, and they're like, hey, let us know which games you're interested in, and we'll try and get your information to the devs, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so we'll see what culminates from that. But yeah, I I don't know. I really, really liked it. I was exhausted after all of it, as if I had gone to a convention, but I didn't get sick. Didn't get sick.
Yay! Not getting
Uh,
sick, no creepy stalkers. Awesome.
yeah.
Sounds like virtual convention's the way to go, huh?
Yeah. Well, and it was cool because, like, I mean, obviously, I don't know. The devs might have been more European centered or something. Like,
Okay,
I don't know that I saw a bunch of them during the times that I was on.
fair.
But I think as time goes on, as they see the value of it, it will probably be more and more have a chance to really just hear them talk about this game that they made, which I
Mhm.
which I love the idea of.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a lot of participating games. Um,
That's fun.
some that I already knew of, like Reanimal, and some that I had not heard of. One that I wanted to mention because I've been mentioning this game to everybody because I thought it was so creative and cool. And funnily enough, when I saw it in the spreadsheet before I went to the event, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile, like if I have time," because I was like, "It doesn't look that interesting." And so I get into the booth and I'm like, "Okay, I like the characters here." And then I like kind of watched the trailer and I read a little bit more about what it was, and I was like, "Now hold on, am I understanding this correctly?" And I was, because what this game does, it's like a narrative story game, but the
Mhm.
unique thing it has is you can choose to follow another player's story. So a previous player, you can choose to follow their save basically. And in doing so, their decisions affect your playthrough. So I followed a player that like they were tagged as a bit of a troublemaker. And so I was like, okay, let's
Right.
follow them and see what happens there. Because basically different actions will get you different tags.
Mhm.
And so the very first thing that was affected was when you get rescued from the water. The person who rescues you will either have medicine or she won't, based on the player before you. So the player before me took the medicine, so she didn't have any for me, which I thought was really quite interesting because you had the option
Mm.
to leave it behind for the next person. Um, and then even cooler is, as we get to the next part, like they fast forwarded us a bit so that we could try another section, which was one of the little villages. Uh,
Mhm.
I didn't have to do like this whole sequence because the player I was following already did it. And so I kind of got to just walk through the market without being accosted by the same people that threw him out, basically.
That's so
Um,
interesting.
yeah, and the other cool thing is the NPCs will they'll mention the other player, like it'll say their name, but the NPCs will just say your friend.
Oh, okay.
So like they know that this is a thing that you can see and that you can see these memories, these like ripples in time where you can see what your friend did. And you can use those uh in the conversations with the NPCs. So you can be like, "Oh yeah, I know so and so did this." Which changes, the
Okay.
path that you can take basically. Or like they broke a bridge, so I couldn't
Mhm.
use it, but I fixed the bridge, so if anybody followed my save, it would be fixed for them.
Okay.
And it was just kind of this, I don't know,
That's
I
so
just thought the
interesting.
concept
What's
was
this
so
game
cool.
called?
It's called Tides of Tomorrow.
Tides of Tomorrow. Okay. I see
Um
it down there.
yeah, and so I was just like, when I had read it originally, I was just like, I don't know, that looks generic. And I'm so glad. I'm honestly so glad that the expo was here and that I went into there to look at that game because I was just blown away just by how cool it was and what a cool concept it was. Because games have tried the whole like, oh, your decisions affects the world or whatever, but most of the
Mhm.
time that
Mhm.
resulted in like at the end you got this percent of players did this percent of players did this, right? you
Mhm.
know, it wasn't anything on this scale. So that was probably that was probably like my top game just because it just blew my mind. Um, Although I did get to play test Hawthorne, um,
Oh,
which was pretty fun. Lava Slug actually joined me, and so I chose the owl, and she chose the mouse, and so she could like
oh,
jump on my
cool.
back, and I would fly her around. And furthermore, she could use tools, but I couldn't. So like, if there was something that needed tools, I would have to get her or a villager to help me. Um, but it was kind of funny because somehow the game is transparent. So all we could see at first was the dialogue boxes because I had allowed transparency on, and I was just like, how in the world? Like, what?
That's a is that a glitch or
I
like?
don't know. I went to their Discord and just put it in their feedback. I was just like, I don't know, people are gonna think your game's broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. It was cool to get a playtest for that. And that was one of the ones they basically had like a set number of keys, maybe each day or something. I'm not sure how they did it. But basically,
Okay.
first come, first want to play, you could get the playtest key.
Mm.
And those are systems that they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to probably rethink some of them. Like they had obviously every
Mhm.
person who came in was able to redeem a key until supplies ran out. Um,
Mhm.
and they lasted till Sunday, so it wasn't like
Okay.
too bad, but uh, they were talking about like maybe they'd hide the terminals next time or something, make it a little bit harder.
Okay.
uh, But yeah, it was really cool, and like I said, I'm just really excited to be there for the ground, not necessarily the ground floor, because obviously I've missed two other ones, but pretty early in, because I'm so excited to see how it's gonna grow. Because I
It
mean, we had a lot of
sounds
people.
really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, eventually they had to spawn two servers, so I don't know how
Like
many.
this time around?
Yeah, well, it was on the Sunday day as the day went on. We were in session 2 because session 1 was full. So yeah, it was really really neat. I highly recommend if you get the chance the next time they come around, uh, that you try it out because I think you'd find it quite charming as well.
I 100% will. If I'm not moving again, which I hope will not happen for a very, very, very long time.
But yeah, I've yapped about that a lot. I'll probably yap about it more in a video or something. I don't know yet. I just, like I said, as you can tell, I was just enamored with it. I just, uh, so cool. But that,
Well,
yeah,
I'm really glad that your expectations were, I would say, met.
yeah. Because
Um,
I've been to a digital convention. I've been to one other digital convention. It was called the Nova Expo. I think I did it early this year, or maybe end of last year. I can't remember when. But
mhm.
it wasn't this scale. It was like a smaller one. Um, and they didn't have the like realistic models or anything like that. It was still very cool. Um, but it was kind of cool to see one that feels more like it's being built for the VR future.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Okay.
keep an eye out for those digital conventions, y'all. I'm telling you, I think it's the future of conventions. But
I look forward to the next one.
yeah, that I'm done yapping about it for now.
On a similar note, this isn't quite a convention, but I want to say it's probably a pretty big Steam event by now. Wholesome Snack
That's
is
right.
premiering in exactly 3 minutes from now. Actually,
Oh
three
man, we're
minutes of
late.
this podcast, we're gonna be late. Yeah. Um, and they're going to be announcing over 20. It says get ready for over 20 games, including world premiere announcements and more surprises you'll see here for the very first time. So they're going to be announcing some new things, and it's on Steam right now, December 9th, it says. So it'll probably be available to watch on YouTube. And looking at some of the games that they have, like, straight off the bat, some of them look so cute. There's a game here called Mirage? Mirage Miracle Quest? Looks I don't know what it is, but it looks cute. I'm intrigued. There's Moomin Troll is on there, which I know a lot of people love Moomin. I didn't grow up with Moomins. I know nothing. But that is on there. Um, then there seems to be a typing game called Beetle, Beetle. Be right back. um, I'm gonna need to mute for a moment. Sorry, the toddler's being very fussy.
You're fine. I mean, it happens. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna be. We'll actually be watching that together after the podcast. There was actually another Steam thing going on as well, actually, that I noticed and sent to Luna today. It's the 4 is a Party midweek multiplayer celebration presented by Dedelic Entertainment. And it is like a bunch of multiplayer games. Specifically games where you can play with 4 or more people. And I find it funny how many of them are either on my wish list or already in my library. Obviously, Peak is on there. If you don't have Peak, what are you doing? What are you doing? Play Peak with your friends. Do it.
It won 2 awards recently.
Yeah.
Need any more excuses? On Wholesome Snack, there's also another game feature called Cozy Caravan, which I actually own this game. I played on release day and it did have quite a few bugs on release day, but they've since fixed a lot of these and brought a lot of new updates. It's very, very cute. You get to play as a little animal. And yeah, I just check it out. It's not an overly expensive game. It's very, very cute. And it's featured on Wholesome Snack.
Didn't that one get a Christmas update?
It did. It did, yeah. And they've also added some more animals since release. There's a pink bunny.
With
Which
red
I might have
eyes?
to go restart. No, not with red eyes, it says. But yeah, and the other one, what did you say was it called?
Oh,
4 is a Party.
Yeah, the 4 is a Party little multiplayer celebration. There's so many good games on there. There's so many good multiplayers, friends. Including so there's a game on there called Guilty as Sock, which is a game I immediately bought but haven't played since I bought it. I played it during Next Fest. It's basically just an improv game where you do courtroom cases with your friends. And so we just when we did the Next Fest demo, we just like made up this ridiculous court case about something that chat said. And you have like cards and stuff they can use. It's super fun if you have creative, goofy friends who like to improv.
Sounds great.
It's wild. I mean, and you're sock puppets. So, and you can like throw paper at each other and stuff and like try to distract each other, and it's just
I see it here. Guilty as Socks.
It's just chaos. I loved it. It's such a cool little game. But, you know, it requires a lot of, input from the player, technically.
You know another game that's on the 4 is a Party?
Hmm.
It's 75% off right now. If you do not have this game, oh my gosh, I so recommend it. King of the Castle.
Mm-hmm.
It is basically a Twitch game, more or less, right? I've played on Twitch. It has I've only ever played on Twitch. It has fabulous integration, and it's so much fun to play with the community.
It works well on Discord too. If you just want to like play one in with your Discord friends.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it works really well. Yeah, it's a really cool game where you basically it's you versus the other factions, and the monarch So basically the person who starts the game has to try and win while they have all these other factions scheming against them and voting and stuff. Very, very chaotic. Especially when people don't understand what they're doing. And just cause absolute chaos through the voting system. But yeah, that's a really cool game. And you can play with a lot of people, which is also very neat. And like your friends don't need the game itself, they just need like their phone or a web browser. So very accessible. I agree with mentioning that one for show. I thought it was funny. They have one in the horror section, which is called The Headliners, which me and my friends actually play quite regularly. I can see why it's in the horror section, but I assure you, chat, that it is more hilarious than anything. That game is so much fun. Well, so like the premise is that you're like photographers, you're reporters during an alien invasion. And so you have to like touch down from the helicopter and like go take pictures of the aliens and stuff and of interactions and whatnot, and try not to die. And so like there are aliens and stuff jumping out at you, and it's probably scary like the first couple times, like Repo, but honestly, the silliest stuff happens, and you can get the silliest photos that like I was surprised to see it in the horror section, and then I was like, oh wait, yeah, I guess people might be afraid of the aliens. Because for us, it's just hilarious.
Aliens equals horror.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them are pretty mean, you know, so I get it. The inside is dark. Like, I understand where it's coming from, but it just cracked me up because I was just like, oh, right, I guess that would be a horror game. There's also Core Keeper, which is not a horror game, but is an excellent little open world sandbox game. Top down, kind of like it's like a top down Terraria. That one's really, really fun.
I've never played it.
We didn't finish it. We need to, but we started it with like a bunch of community members. Yeah, I mean, there's just a ton in there. So, like, if you're looking for some games to play with your friends or your family for the holidays, maybe check out this sale and see if anything speaks to you. Okay. Luna, did you have anything else before we? I think we can move on to upcoming games so that we can let you go.
To what? Sorry?
Upcoming games.
I mean, this isn't upcoming, but it is happening now as we speak, actually. Palea's winter update.
That's right.
We haven't talked about that. We haven't talked about Palea in like what, 3 podcasts?
Well,
I feel like that's a lie.
I think we talk about Palea every podcast, to be honest. Yeah, there's an update. I haven't read the patch notes yet because I read it with chat.
Fair. At a glance, Palea's new update, Winter's Wonder, is coming. So we're getting so many really cool things with this. So, if you play Palea, you may know, Palea likes to update the map a little bit seasonally. And last year, apparently, a very popular feedback was that there wasn't enough snow. So they are bringing the snow this year, and Kilima will look beautiful and snowy, and I cannot wait to see it. Along with that, we are also getting snow furnishings and stuff we can add to our rooftops, like icicles and stuff, which will I think will look really pretty. We also get like little snowy furniture and snowy chappas and stuff. Oh my god, I think it's gonna be absolutely wonderful. Monthly bundle is obviously just gonna be a new one. A Winter Lights edition. It's gonna be one with Areth and Ashura. So check that out. And also, there's a new event coming to Palea called Grow a Snowman. So join the Grow a Snowman event and collect snowman plushies to help the snowman overlooking Kilima Village grow from adorable to awe-inspiring. The Grow a Snowman event begins on December 9th at 10 a.m. PT, that's today, and ends on January 13th. During this event, players may discover Sandy Paw's presence by participating in their favorite activities, including hunting, insect catching, fishing, mining, woodcutting, foraging, gardening, rummage piles, ranching, and monthly bundle quests. Presents may contain seasonal decor, snowballs, snowball plush, or coal. Finding coal also unlocks the recipe to craft a snowman plush, which can be built using 10 coal, 20 snowballs, 2 pieces of wood, and 1 carrot. That's right. You can get your very own little snowman plush. I'm gonna make a little snowman plush army. I can't wait. It's gonna be glorious. They're also bringing um basically they're changing how furniture tins work,
Yeah.
which is gonna be really, really interesting. We're getting a new home lines. We're getting
The
the estate.
estate.
So the mayor's estate basically, which you will be able to use with the alchemist home line as well. So they're interchangeable. We're getting something new called the lunar path,
Yeah.
which is essentially kind of like a battle pass, Peleus way of doing a battle pass. But it's gonna be way more chill than the usual battle pass, from
It's
more
more
competitive
like
games.
Guild Wars 2 Wizards Vault, in my opinion. Where like
You wanna
they want to
elaborate?
call it a season pass, but like what it really is it's just something that you can do each, season, each update or whatever, but it doesn't go away. So there's
Mm-mm,
not the FOMO that a season pass has. Like I don't know.
mhm.
I feel like we need a better word for these more player friendly
Relaxed.
battle passes, because like
Yeah,
it's
I
not
agree.
when we say battle pass, most of you are like, oh, because you
Yeah,
think something that you have to pay for or something that's temporary. But this is not. I mean, you can buy the premium one, but it doesn't go
mhm.
away. So
No, it doesn't go away.
I felt like that was an important
So,
distinction. Sorry for interrupting
the
you.
no, you're absolutely fine. The way this will work later on is essentially that you'll be able to select which one you wanna progress.
Yeah, which is
Um,
smart.
so yeah, so the first one is called Path of the Kitsu, which obviously will involve a bunch of Kitsu themed things, such as little Kitsu plushies, and a little Kitsu outfit if you do the premium one, which is gonna be 2,500 Palia coins.
Well, and I do think
I
they
think that
mentioned that the first earnable cosmetic, like clothing item, I think it might, I don't know if it's in the Kitsu path or not. Like there's a shirt, I think.
okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
there's a
pretty
shirt,
big in my opinion. Because,
and that one's
a
gonna
lot
be
of people
free.
have been wondering when we're going to get earnable cosmetics. And this
Mhm,
seems to be the answer.
through those, yeah.
Yeah.
Which they'll also work in nicely with, like, the weeklies and stuff like that that we have to do. And yeah, just lots of really cool things. We're also getting a new species for our ranch called the Buvar, which is like how can I explain the Buvar?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Um it's a bear-ish ranch companion with antlers and a big love for fish. So this will give you
Oh my God, it's
it
beautiful.
kind of looks like a beaver bear with antlers, with like moose antlers. Um, it looks really cute. Yeah. Um, and more on ranching, we are going to be getting new visual effects as well. So I'm really excited for that. There's also going to be earnable makeup and hairstyles, a bunch of new plushies, obviously. Um, there's going to be something called a Lova Smarty Pod, which I Lavo, sorry, not Lova, Lavo. Lavo the Smarty Pod. I don't know what a Smarty Pod's gonna be. We'll have to check it out.
Well, it's the
Um
evolution on potato pods and shiny pods, naturally.
So yeah, a bunch of really cool things, and that is active right now in Palia. So if you haven't updated yet, haven't played in a while, or want to check it out, that's available right now.
Yeah, that's right. Play Palea. Okay.
Kind of sponsored, but not really.
I'm not.
Yet.
All right, so
Someday.
I wanted to talk about the PC gaming show most wanted, but honestly, I feel like a lot of the games that were there we've already talked about and stuff. So I think for the sake of Luna's voice, we move on to the upcoming releases. And I have to note that once again, there are still a bunch of games slated to release this year without a release date. What's going on, devs? Are you okay? Are you can just delay your game. It's okay. Sorry, it just cracks me up. I was just like, "Oh my god, there are more."
TBR released.
So we'll see. We'll see if they release. All right, but we did have some on the list. Some upcoming
She means she didn't.
Yeah, some upcoming
contributed
Cesire
nothing to
releases.
Just becoming Assess's game radar.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. So first up, releasing December 9th, so today. This game is called Death Howl. This is actually one that was at Expo. At Endix Expo. This was one that was at Endix. I didn't get a chance to try out the demo. Although the demo does still exist for people who want to try it before you buy it. But this is an interesting, like, it's like a Souls-like deck builder is what they call it. So instead of your normal Souls-like, having to fight manually, you're fighting with your deck, but there's still, I guess, really hard enemies and whatnot. I just thought it was an interesting blend of genres because I mean deck builders are really popular these days. But I can't say I've seen
What's that
one
one called? My
calling.
cards better than yours.
Yeah, we're gonna play that this week. It had an update. It's so good. We get more stickers. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of unique in what it seems like it's trying to do with deck building and souls like being in the same sentence, I guess. And the art is also very interesting. It's kind of like a pixely, surreal art style. So yeah, if that's something that you like, check out Death's Howl. Try out the demo. Indie devs, look at them go, making some really interesting stuff these days. Next up on the list, and this one was actually in the Better or 4 is a Party festival because they're releasing. Oh, they're releasing today. Why do I have December 10th? I must have messed up. Well, they released today.
Wow, slacker.
Yeah, I must have messed up. So this is one that was also on my list to try out, but I haven't gotten a chance yet because it was part of the most recent Next Fest.
Okay.
And this is they've made a game before called Ultimate Chicken Horse, which was like a co-op platformer. This one is similar in that it's like a co-op platformer, except for this time it's more of a bike racing. It's a bike racing party game, is what they're calling it. But the reason that I find this one more interesting is because you and your friends can build the course together and then race it, which I think is such a fun concept. So you can like try and challenge each other or try and build like the weirdest course that people can actually get through. And I think that really gives it a lot of replayability if you have the kind of friends that like a game like that. And it just looks wacky. Like, you just have all of these different, like, pieces that you can use to build the maps. Like, apparently you can just have a giant hammer swinging so that it'll hit your friends back.
Lovely.
Or push them forward, It looks really cool. It kind of makes you think of, like, the old Mario games where you can build those crazy platforms. Well, not old, but the one where you could build the course together, basically. Just a lot of room for creativity, which I like. So yeah, that's Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. It's out now. You can play with your friends. I believe it's up to 8. You can play with up to 8 friends, which is nice. Because a lot of games are stuck at 4. So it's always nice to see ones that get a little bit more. I think this is the reason that this other one said December 10th, is because Dead Format is coming out on December 10th. And this is a game I've talked about before.
This scary game.
Yeah, well, it's the one I've talked about before. It's the one where you have the VHS tapes that transport you into the tapes, like into the world of the tapes. And so you play through these different worlds by finding the VHS tapes and trying to find your brother. Really, really cool concept. The horror didn't feel cheap. Like it didn't feel like it was just trying to. I feel like a lot of games these days are just trying to disgust you to call themselves a horror game. But this was more. This felt more like the older horror games in look and in the way that it played. So it was really, really neat. I like the idea of the different worlds through the different VHS tapes. I think that's very interesting. So yeah, Dead Format, check it out. They did remove their demo. Maybe it'll be back up after, I don't know. But it was pretty good. I did get a chance to play it. Next up is a game that Luna might be interested in, although both of us see a lot of these games quite regularly, so it's hard to pick which ones to play. There's a game coming out into early access on December 12th called Everdream Village, which apparently their original was like Everdream Island or something. So they've moved up to a village.
Good stuff about this game. For me personally, this is like a game I'm gonna see what my friends think of it before I go all in.
It has a demo, so you at least can try that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it boasts the same thing. Every Dream Valley, it boasts the same thing that a lot of these cozy simulator farming games have. You've got the relationships with the villagers, although in this one, like, I think you have to convince them to move back to the valley or to the village. Oh, okay. Everdream Valley was the name of the other one, not Island. So it used to be a valley, but now you've moved into a different area and you got to build it into a village. So you're kind of like, you start out in kind of like a desert area, a desert island style thing. And so you got to help nourish the land basically and regrow it and then convince people to come back. So I think it has a lot of potential because it does have that added gameplay loop of like convincing people to come back and live there and stuff. I think that can add a lot of fun to it. A little bit of a different style than say like Stardew Valley where everybody's already there. So yeah, it looks good. And plus they make a lot of jokes about llamas. So I do like a game that takes, llama supremacy seriously. It looks pretty cute. It's one that it's one of those where it's just like it's on the list because it does look good, but I don't know if I'll get to it right away.
Okay, fair.
And then lastly on the list, December 15th, a game called Barely Brave is coming out, and this one is quite interesting as well. Another roguelike deck building game. But the concept is basically that you have to use your deck to fight other plushies in the toy store to fight for the best shelf, basically, so that you have a better chance of being taken to your forever home. And so it's kind of this mix between cute and like, I mean, a little bit violent, like, but in like plushy violence, like, so you're hitting them. Violent. Yeah, like you're hitting them with cards and like their stuffing is falling out, but they're plushies. They're fine. You just got to stitch them back up again.
Stuffing up. Yep.
Yeah, but it, again, deck builders are interesting because you can do a lot with them. And so, the good deck builders can be really, really, really fun. And I think this has the potential to be one of those really fun ones where, like, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It gets to have a lot of jokes. And it gets to be really silly because, again, they're plushies in a toy store. so they get to kind of have fun with the weapons that you get to use and whatnot. I don't know. I think it looks really good. It has a demo, so you can try it out before you buy it. But I think that's probably one that'll eventually show up on my stream because it does look so charming and just up my
the
weirdness.
Concept is extremely silly.
Yeah, just very just fighting to get up to the top of the of the toy store shelf is very funny. And presumably,
sus.
you win when a kid takes you home.
Lovely.
Which is cute. Yeah, those are my upcoming releases that I could find because again, a bunch of them do not have release dates. Luckily, next podcast will cross into January, which do have release dates. But yeah, that's that. Really, do you have anything else you want to add, Miss? Losing her voice,
No,
probably.
I'm trying to think. I'm getting really tired.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything, but I think that's it. I can't think of anything else right now.
That's a yap, as they say. They being we.
That's a yap.
Thank you
We
all.
really need to get shirts with that.
We do. Thank you all. Oh my gosh, we should make ones for our avatars.
Yes. Oh my god.
Like a little hoodie. Okay, thank you all so much for being here with us today for episode 14 of Pixel Yaps. We always appreciate, obviously, you listening. As you can tell, we could yap for another hour, but eventually, it is time to say goodnight. I'm Cesire.
Good night. So long. See you in 2 weeks.
Don't you dare. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm Cesire. I stream Monday through Friday on Twitch at twitch.tv/it'satree with 3 E's. I also put up shorts and such on YouTube at youtube.com/@it'sacesire. And I post very regularly on Blue Sky, also at Cesire. And this is my co-host.
I'm Loonaromi. Call me Luna. I stream 3 to 4 times on Twitch every week, usually Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday evening. I also post on TikTok and YouTube at least 3 times a week. That's also Loonaromi on there. And I'm also fairly active on both Twitter and Blue Sky, also Loonaromi. This podcast is going to be available on Spotify as well under Pixel Yaps, and you can also find it on YouTube if you'd like to watch along and not just listen on my channel, which is youtube.com/@Loonaromi.
All right. And we will see you the next time you wander into the Pixel Yaps podcast. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Pixels and yaps, pixels and yaps. We like pixels and computer games. Pixels and yaps, pixels and yaps. We're yapping about pixels and computer games. Pixels and yaps.